All right. Hold up, let me make sure I got these doggone comments on. I tell you. Oh, here we go. Hey, Shanita. Therese. Corey. Got them pipes. Hey, baby. You know I'm gonna give you. Let me do it the way I do it. Hey, mama. Hey, Katina. Sister CC. All right, we got some people coming in. Well, this is Pastor Fred, God's man on deck. Still letting a couple of people come in. Trav, what's going on? Katina, what's going on? Just giving everybody a minute to come in. While you all are coming in, I want to thank God for my awesome, anointed, beautiful, stunning, above all, the best wife in the world. She called me the best husband. I call her the best wife because she is the best. No comparison. I thank God for my wife, Jamila Gooden, your apostle, your prophet, my baby. So I want to thank God for her. I want to thank God for you all. Anthony Franklin, I see you coming in there. What's good, boy? I see you. Oh, Amp, I got something for you. Amp. Can I play with y'all for a minute? Cause see, I got something coming for y'all, but I like playing with y'all on here. Watch this. Blah, goes the shot vigilante style. Ja, see my prayers feels like a mile. Why do we die? Asked the little child, tears in his eyes, cause he seen his sister shot down. Whoa. What's up, Amp? Tears in his eyes, cause he seen his sister shot down. Whoa. What you think about it? We still doing it. I feel like I'm wrestling with two people. One has a Bible, the other a desert eagle. Rolling with hollow tips, I'm lethal. Shrapnel from assaults, no get backs, no sequels. Holy oil in my head so I don't see you. Wicked in my thoughts, they project my evil. Check my six, it sneaks like this smiggle. Check your like a flash of lights on Buick Regals. I love playing with y'all. Listen, I do that because you can't forget to live. Can't forget to be yourself. You can't be so serious that you're dying, because the Bible was never written for you to become something and somebody that you're not. You're not supposed to be this robotic, religious, dying person. You're supposed to be a person that is living. You're supposed to be a person that's inspiring. You're supposed to be a person that is encouraging. You're supposed to be a person that is moving forward. So I love to play on there, and I love it. I love it that my wife encourages me in my gifts. She makes it absolutely easy for me to be me. So, and I thank God for her. But listen, I got the subject title tonight. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you quick, and I'm just getting off of my bike, but I want to make sure that I talk about it because tonight is election. How many of y'all sick and tired of this doggone election? Come on, give me a show or something. If you sick and tired of this doggone 5-6 days, no counting people. I like what my wife said. She said, we ought to let the little Philippine man that sang the song, let him count all the doggone votes. We probably need to let him do it. You know what I'm saying? But it's terrible. My baby ain't getting no doggone sleep. Good God Almighty. Listen, I won't Biden to win, but I'm sick and tired of this doggone thing. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, the one thing I want to talk about tonight, especially towards black men, and why you guys are coming in, we appreciate you. We appreciate all the ladies. And just know that the message is a message, but all the ladies, tag some men in, tag your brothers in. Katie, what's going on, Texas? Tag your brothers in, tag your uncles in, tag men in, so they can be a part of the conversation. And even if they don't catch it while I'm doing it live, maybe it'll come down their timeline later and they can take a listen to it. But I wanted to talk about the subject matter tonight. How do we as black men unite? How do we become united? As black men, how do we become united? Because I've been seeing some things. I was actually, Corey that's on here now, he was kind of complimenting me about the way that he saw some of the men organized in the older church. He saw the way that the men were galvanized. He was like, well, dang, but I want to say this right here. He was like, the way that the men moves, and even though it was less men in the church, than women in the church, what's going on? I see my son coming up the line. What's going on, Fred? Even though it was less men in the church, the men were organized. And this is the thing about men, and it's a question, it's a good question, because, like always, me and my wife, we have good dialogue and challenging dialogue too. And we were talking about, I see Les up there. We were talking about men. We was talking about why is it hard for men to come together, especially black men. And we was talking about the decline. We was actually talking about there seems to even be a decline when it comes to even the Nation of Islam. You ain't hearing about the Nation of Islam like that no more. You ain't, even with the Hebrew Israelites, yeah, they coming, but you're not hearing what you used to hear. And I think it's a problem. And it's the reason why I want to talk about it. So it was a good subject to talk about. Why don't we come together? Why is it so hard for us to come together? Why is it seems like it's with men, it's like pulling teeth. And when me and Corey was talking, and we were talking about the whole thing, what came up is that I had to spend time with each one of the men. Like, I really had to spend a good amount of time to bring men together to become solid. But I want to tell y'all right now, what we looking at right now, we ain't got that kind of time. I mean, we don't have the time as black men for every black man to feel special to be able to be a part of something. We have to now get it up in our mind. And when we see something like some of us for the church, our church is where we gather. Our church is our community. Our church is where we come to be a part of. Even though I don't try to make this formal all about church. I really don't try to do that. Wherever. But there has to be a question for us, and we need to question ourselves in the inside. And I could, because I was a man that kind of, I stayed by myself a lot. And because I stayed by myself a lot, I was comfortable by myself. And I think that's the nature of a lot of men. A lot of men are comfortable. Yeah, we have people, we got brothers, we got friends and all that. But the nature of a man, most men are all right with being by themselves. The problem is the temperament of the time. We can't do that. Now, this is the fact of the matter. It don't matter. Listen, I won't say it don't matter who wins, because it does matter who wins. But what I am saying is, no matter who wins, we as black men need to start coming together and taking back our community, and making us coming together important again. Why? Because we can't change nothing. We can't change nothing separated. I think one of the first things that I checked I'm going back on my resume. When a man would come to the church, they go. Elder Caldwell just went up the timeline. I'm going to use him for example since he came up the call. When I met Elder Caldwell. And I want y'all to listen to this, man. Some of y'all pastors and leaders and stuff, and even if you got other businesses that you're doing and you're trying to pull men in, you need to listen to this. When he came to visit the church, he visited the church a couple of times. And when people would visit the church, I never tried to pull on people. Because the one thing I do know about a man, you can't pull on the man. If you try to pull on a man, if he feels you trying to pull on him, he going to go in the opposite direction. Nope, they don't. Mostly men don't move like that. If you go up to a man and you want to try to talk to the man about joining whatever you're doing, he gonna go in the opposite direction, because it's almost a part of our nature to first reject the first thing that's trying to come at us. So, and I'm using Caldwell as an example because one of the first things that he asked me, he came and asked me a question about the church, right? He came in and asked me because he watched me. One thing about men, we gonna watch. We're watching the people that we are considering coming in contact with, or we're considering connecting with. We're gonna watch them for a while to see if we want to connect with them. Because the nature of a man is not to follow nobody. Y'all probably don't like what I just said. Most of all, most men ain't finna follow nobody. That's why it's hard for men to join churches. That's why when you go in there, you can go in there and see 75 women and you will see 10 men and 15 men. Why? Because most men, they're not finna join anything. It's like pulling teeth because most men have to first be convinced that I even need to be a part of what you're doing. Because that's that natural, even if a man in himself is not a natural leader, he still has the qualities, or he still has the rebellion and the resistance to follow anybody. That's what it is. So most men, they ain't finna connect. We wonder, because we talk, the subject matter today is, how do we as black men become united? Because there's a need that we need to become united. And I wanted to say this before I go to my next point. When Caldwell came and asked me a question about the church, and I answered his question, but I left it up to him. I didn't try to persuade him to follow me. I didn't try to persuade him to connect with me. And I did that with every man. I did not try to persuade them to try to connect with me or to follow me. I wanted them to see my fruit, to know that I was, watch this, that I was first honorable, that I was first integrous, and that I was a man that could be an example to follow. And some of us are wondering why men can't come united. It's in most cases, they don't see nothing that they can be connected with. They don't see a man that they believe that they can follow. They don't see nothing. I'm sorry, ladies, but some of y'all pastors, they ain't finna follow them. You can try to call them in all you want to, but for them, they have to see something. And then watch this. That's just the beginning of it. First, after they see something they connect with, it's going to take a while before they even really give themselves fully to the word. Let me tell you what's so important about tonight. We're in election time, right? This year we suffered as black people. We seen murder after murder after murder. Now, these murders weren't like 1940, 1950, 1960, where you rolled up on the murder or you rolled up on somebody that was strung up in the tree. You rolled up on somebody that they had decapitated. You rolled up on somebody that was murdered. No, those murders wasn't like that. These murders and atrocities was committed on video. We saw not just the murder, but we saw it from beginning to end. We seen Ahmaud Arbery get shot down like a dog. We seen them two boys, and I'm gonna call it what they is. We seen two rednecks inside a truck with a carbine, a shotgun, and shoot this man down while he was running. We saw these murders happen. You mean to tell me we still gonna be up here talking about the president? Let me tell y'all something. I believe with everything in me, I am hoping Biden to win, but Biden ain't gonna be the answer for men coming together and doing what they supposed to be doing in their community. He is not gonna be the answer. In order for us to begin to protect our community, we have to become one with somebody. We gotta come together in a better way. We gotta do something else. I don't see a lot of y'all talking. It means that most men, And this is the bad part. And I'm going to talk now this side of it. I'm probably going to talk more of the church side because I can only make an example, so many examples of what I've seen. And then I'll go the other way. A lot on the church side, you got to give a Negro a position first before they join something. Most of them, if you give them a position, then they'll join. Now they want a position, but they want a position, but they really don't want to be responsible for nothing. Ain't that an oxymoron? That's a problem. And most of those things that happen with men, and this is how a lot of leaders mess up. Because you'll go in, and because you want to try to attract somebody, and they'll come in, you'll try to give them a position, and you think giving them a position is going to work. It's hard when it comes to men. Because men by natural inclination do not know how to be a part of something. Men by natural inclination don't know how to follow something. Because they feel like even if you run it, and some of y'all can give me some thumbs up, let me know if you start a business. Most men, if you start the business, I'm talking about you started the business and you hired them in the business, they're gonna come in and try to tell you how to run the business that you started with your own money. That's how it go. Why we as black men can't become united? Because I really believe there was something that was put in our DNA. Now, we talk about, because now this is important. We finna get ready to go in 2021. I want to encourage, and if this touch it, I want you to do something about it. It means become a part of something. Become a part of something other than the community of one. Because the community of one ain't doing nothing. It ain't doing nothing. Listen, I can protect my wife. I can protect my house, and I can protect my household. But it'll feel a whole lot better if I had about 300 people that I can call real quick. Think about that. Huh? What if we were galvanized? What if we did know how to come together? What if we did know how to be led? What if we knew? Then we would be dangerous. We're not dangerous because we're scattered. We're not dangerous because we're separated. I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes it seemed like I had more organization in the street than I had when I crossed over. Why? Because sometimes it's the common things that bring folk together. We got to do something about that. Okay. When Biden is not going to solve the racial problem we got as a community of not coming together. He ain't gonna be able to solve that. We're seeing something right now. We're seeing a trend happening right now. Let's go to something else real. That race still close. Now, no matter what nobody want to say or how they want to feel, it's still a whole lot of red out there for all the hell black people that went through this year. For all the hell that we done went through on video. It's a whole lot of red out there. I'm talking about even with Biden winning. It shows us that the voice that's out there does not care about your community. So what are we going to do? We have to now become united. We have to find a way now to galvanize. And that means if you're a part of something, that means if you have a church, because church ain't just church. Church ain't, listen, first of all, let's hit one of these spikes. Church ain't just for you to go in and just get preached to and come back out. No, that's a community of folk that we supposed to be touching. As men, you should be an example in that body so that you can not only just be used and accountable and responsible in that body, but even on the outside, they know us for the work that we do. But we can't do it because it seems like we can't get men to come in. Now, I know that won't be always. But this is the clarion call. This is for some men to ask yourself a question. Man, why I want to be a part of it? Why is it hard for me to be a part of something? And these pastors, if they tell the truth, they'll tell you. You can have a cathedral, but you still ain't gonna have nothing but a small percentage of men. And what I'm telling you is, black man, you got to do better. As black men, we got to do better. Because we can't sit up here and hope for something to happen that's going to change the way that things is going for us. I really don't see it coming. It's the reason why now I'm going to be a lot more vocal. I'll be a lot more vocal. Watch this. Don't you get mad at me. Don't none of y'all Christians get mad at me and want to stone me now. That's why the Bible says, which of the prophets did you not kill? That's why the Bible said that. Don't y'all get mad at me when I get vocal about being black. Because that's what we was taught. It was almost like, we going to give you the Bible. We want you to focus on that there ain't no color in heaven. And no, it ain't. Yo, we all one blood. There ain't no color in heaven. But we ain't made it there yet. Come on, talk to me in here. We ain't made it there yet. And the problem is we've been so focused on being Christian till we forgot about our community. So, and like me, now my testimony is before I gave my life to the Lord, I was really going to become Muslim first. Ask me why. Yeah. I was going to become Muslim first. And I was going to become Muslim because I liked the organization that they seen. I was going to become Muslim because I had a gang mentality. I was going to become Muslim because it seemed like the men were more organized. I was going to become Muslim because at that particular time, I really did not like white folks. So I was attracted to something that was against what I hated. I'm sorry, I did. So I was attracted to that. So I go through these years and yeah, I get over it and I say, no, the God that I serve got to be a God that loves everybody. And he is. He loves everybody. He is about everybody. He is about every gender. He's about every trans. Yep, you might don't like it, but he loves everybody. He loves the transgenders. He loves lesbians. He loves homosexual. He loves everybody. But I am going to become more vocal about my people. Because you can't keep telling me to read my Bible and overlook my community because I'm a believer. That's ludicrous. But that's the same thing. I don't know if I'm going to catch no heat from this, but that's the same thing that the slave masters did. When you go and you look at the movie from Nat Turner, now it's a movie, so I'm not calling it factual. I'm just going off the movie. The movie began to use Nat Turner. Nat Turner would go from plantation to plantation and preach the Bible and preach to the slaves, tell them to be good to their masters. Now, I'm not preaching an uprising. Don't y'all go and tag me and say nothing stupid. I'm not preaching going no violence. I'm not saying anything about that. This is not this conversation. This is not what I'm saying. What I am saying is we have to be more about our community and that means if that's your church, you need to get better at being there and coming together so you can be seen and that your whatever work you have can be stronger. Somebody put birth of a nation. I am not spewing hate. I am saying, and this is, I'm wondering why. That even some black religious and Christians, when we start talking about coming together, that some people start feeling like we're spewing hate. How come it is when we talk about bringing ourselves together as a community and building ourselves up and making sure that our children are first, right? And making sure our education for our children is first and making sure that when the prisoners come out that they don't fall into recidivism and go right back. How come when we start talking about that we're labeled as some black nationalists or hateful? Why? Why is that? And it's because it's a mentality that's been given to us by a people that never loved us anyway. And a lot of black people adopted mindsets because the truth of the matter is you really don't like us anyway. You don't like you. We got to do something. How do you unite? How do you unite black men? First, get them into their purpose. That means that if a black man come through the door, whatever door he come through, please don't try to convince them of what you talking about. The first thing we have to do is we have to form a people. We have to form men. We have to form men that know that, you know what, bro, you're all right with me. I'm all right with you. We're too much trying to make people adopt our mindsets. We're trying to we want people to say, if it's almost, if you say what I say, then we can rock. Come on. That's small thinking. And that's why you can't, that's why it'll never go nowhere. No, I don't need to try to convince you of what I think. You just need to see who I am. And then in that, let the way that we gel and the way that we conversate and the way that we come together, let it happen. But don't be sitting up here telling me you waiting on the president to get in the seat. He ain't gonna have time to solve that. Obama showed you that. Obama, when he was in office, he did what he could as a black man that was in office. Amen, church. Huh? He did what he could. He did what he could. Could he do more? I don't know. All I'm saying is that there is a responsibility that we have. And I like that, Gina, Sister Gina. She put, we got to agree to disagree sometime. Can't we all just get along? The answer is no. See, the thing about it is, if you disagree with me, we can't rock. I got to have your same look. Because, see, now we're talking about being united. We're talking about coming together. We're talking about doing something. So I got to sound like you. I got to look like you. I got that same manners. I got to have the same kind of clothes. What we doing? See, because the thing about it is, if I got a soldier with me, if I got a dude that's a soldier with me, I don't need him to be a preacher. He's a soldier. I don't need him to be a preacher. And the thing about it is we wanting people to be the same thing, and we can't. First, in order to bring, one of the reasons why we can't come together, because we don't know how to do it. We got to start asking the right questions. We got to start moving the right way. We got to start challenging each other the right way. And the way that we first start challenging each other is, you know what, brother? It's all right. It's all right with us just being brothers. Because we naturally, as men, are going to buck. It's in our nature. We naturally going to buck. Accountability is hard for a lot of men. I'm just saying, you ain't going to like it. Accountability for a lot of men, you know why? That's that little boy. You know how you want to stay out past the street lights. It's just natural. We just naturally buck. Because the first thing we want you to know off rip when we meet you, I ain't following you. Most men that come into any organized thing where there's another man speaking, he gonna listen to him, but he gonna give him an eyeball like, man, I ain't rocking with you like that, unless he's just right off the bat, liking what he's hearing, liking what he's seeing, and in most cases it don't happen like that. So what we gonna do? What we gonna do, man? What you gonna do? The election gonna be over soon. Biden in the chair. If nothing don't change, guess what's gonna happen? We gonna see the same amount of videos. People, we got ladies. How can a woman be murdered in her own apartment? I think it was, and I forgot the name, but it was a woman police officer, or she was a correction officer or something. Happened last year. She knocks on the door, comes in this man's. She says she came. That's what she said. She says she came in the wrong apartment. This man was in his apartment. She says she came in the wrong apartment and killed this man in his own apartment. Black man. See, the problem is every time something come together, we come together and we rush together. That ain't power. Power is when they can automatically see off the bat that there is something else about those group of people. Not that they're Muslim, not that they're Christian. No, there's something about those group of people and their dynamics and their organization that is different from others. That's what we got to become, and that's what has to be the challenge. The challenge has to change. The way that we move has to change. It has to change, and it has to change for our generation. We've been preaching a long time. Me, myself, I think I've been preaching 23 years. Yeah, because I started preaching out the gate. I think I've been preaching 23 years. Preaching goes so far. Teaching goes so far. But what I'm seeing right now is we have to go past our church walls. We have to speak with another. We have to speak broader, or we have to think broader than we've been thinking. We have to, watch this, we have to have more grace and more room for other people that don't necessarily think like you. In other words, catch the fish before you try to clean them. And let me take that back. Catch the fish and then let God do what he do. Let's get the community together first. Let's get the men together first in the community, and then let them, and then let's do a work. I think we're backwards. And what I'm seeing right now, Lord knows, in heaven, it ain't getting no better. How do we do it? With men, we deal with a lot of rejection. With men, we did a lot of irresponsibility, you know. And one thing about it, I will not sit up here and just bash my brothers, because I'm not trying to do that. But in a lot of cases, we got a lot of irresponsibility. We got a lot of irresponsibility, not taking care of the stuff we're supposed to take care of. We got a lot of it, you know. But again, it's a mindset. It's the Willie Lynch. Whether the Willie Lynch letter is real or not real, you can debate that all you want to debate. The words that are spoken in it, I see the operation of the Spirit happening in our community all the time. A man we see men that'll walk away from families, that will walk away from their children, will walk away from their responsibility because in their DNA, their daddy's been doing it. And how did that come about? Because of what they done and how they put it together. So yeah, I see it in operation. We can fight and go and say it don't, Willie Lynch letter don't exist and this, that, or the other. There's a systematic mindset that comes with being a black man. Soon as a black man is born, when a child finds out he's black, is one of the saddest. It can be one of the best days or one of the saddest days, depending on where you swing at with it. When I found out what being black was, it was a very sad day for me. I tell you this, as before I get ready to get out of here. When I found out, I think I was going to Pinedale School. I was going to Pinedale Elementary, and I used to like and that was around where my grandmama stayed at. And I would go to the park and play sometimes. Now, some of these same white boys I was playing with forever. Playing with it, you know what I'm saying? But I think I was like in the 3rd grade, maybe the 4th grade, and they began to chase me. And they was trying to fight me, and they began to chase me, and I had to run home. And when I ran home, I began to know what the difference was. And they wasn't chasing me because they just wanted to beat me up. They was chasing me because I was black. When I found out what being a black man, and see, this is the travesty men, this is the travesty fathers. When a black boy has not had a father to tell him what it means to be a black man, is sad. Because he finds out the wrong way. We got to bring our community together. We got to do something different. It's all right to do good works. It's all right to be. It's all right, you know. Yeah, Sister Jeannie got in there turning the other cheek. And let's not use stuff in the Bible to keep us down. A lot of scriptures have been used for us to overlook justice that's supposed to be happening for us. Don't tell me to turn the other cheek and I don't get justice. The Bible clearly declares that I should have justice if somebody steal my stuff and I want my stuff back and I know who the thief is. I should be able to go and get my stuff because justice says I can get it. But when I get there, if the community of the person don't look like me, most cases they don't want to give me my stuff. But when I got a community behind me, when there's voices behind me, when something had happened to one of the children, one of the young men in the church, and they got him locked up, and like the Malcolm X movie, it's about 50 of us go down there to the precinct. Tell me what that looked like. They say, who all y'all? We his mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, and cousins. What do you mean by that? We his church family. Yes, all of us. And this ain't even a third of us and more of us coming. What y'all got him down here for? What y'all got her down here for? What's the bail? And as a matter of fact, let us come in there and see him because we heard that y'all tased him. We heard that y'all tased him. We got to do better than what we're doing. Yeah, president and all, we got to do better. They are called to handle things on grand levels. But we already seeing ain't nothing been working for us. That means that even you men, if I can encourage some of you men tonight that are all looking before I get out of here, if you got men in your church, man, do what you got to do. Talk, say something. And a lot of times, sometimes it ain't going to be the ones that's already there. Sometimes it'll be other people that come, but talk. Do something. You know, and not just church, just men in your community. Talk to other men. Something has to be done better than what we've been doing. We must unite. That was Sean Willer put in there. Thank you, brother. We must unite in a better way. And if us uniting has to be about some religious decorum, it's got to be about something that's decorated to look good. If us coming together got to be about religious design, we going to keep losing. Because I'm going to tell y'all something. You ain't going to like what I'm going to say. Every brother is not going to become sanctified. Sorry. No. Every brother is not going to become, but that don't mean that they're useless. It just means that they may not walk like you would walk. But if we can form a community that is responsible, that is accountable, that we can call on, if we can form a community where we can call about 50 brothers at one time, we got ourselves something. Because I tell you, 50 turned to 100, 100 turned to 150, 150 turned into 1,000 in no time. But it can't be about religion no more. All of that stuff, that's why I said at the beginning. You don't see all them numbers like you've been seeing before. It means that we got to come together in a better way. This is Pastor Gooden, God's man on deck. God's man on deck. This is what we got to do. This is what we got to do. This is how we got to handle this. And sometimes you just got to, somebody need to call you on your stuff. And sometimes you got to put down your little doctrine. You see a man drinking a beer, you don't want to talk to him. He drinking a beer, you don't want to talk to him. You got a cup of gin in his hand, you don't want to talk to him. You see him, he cussing, you don't want to talk to him. You know, you just lost somebody then. And just because I don't like something don't mean that I can't look past that to see a person. And that means that a lot of us, if we want to bring our communities together, you're going to have to get past a lot of stuff. That means if I can see a man, even in a dude, now you ain't going to like what I'm saying, but God did not call us for the one. He didn't call us for people that were clean. He called us for the ones that were in need. They were in need of a physician. I see a dude sitting there smoking a J. I ain't going to talk to him because he's smoking reefer. Come on, man. We got to do something different. I'm going to say this and I ain't trying to be funny. Because I see more dudes coming together than a lot of church niggas. I'm going to leave that right there. It's just true. It's just true. The one thing that I saw a lot, you couldn't get them together to do nothing. And it was always the same ones that would come together. It's just the nature of it. That means that we got to start looking at things a little differently. David and his, watch this, David and his group, or his mighty men. And his mighty men were misfits. They were from all over the place. They didn't have the same genealogy. They wasn't in the same tribe. They would look, David's men looked all kind, it was all kind of men. But he was something to be feared because they were together. What's your community gonna look like with you when you get involved with it? How do we unite? We get rid of pride. How do we unite? We get rid of selfishness. How do we unite? We get rid of everything that we done doctrinized ourselves with, that we keep ourselves separated from. Stop talking about what you don't like about somebody. You don't like about people. Start finding the reason to bring people together. Because as a community right now, we losing. And I don't care who go. Ain't no great white hope gonna save us. I know you don't like it. My wife said it like this: you may not like my verbiage. But ain't no great white hope finna save us. This is Pastor Gooden, God's man on deck. And I want to tell you, stay true. Keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. Make sure, if you don't do nothing else, that you keep God first. Talk to your sons. Talk to your daughters. Let's build a community. Let's get away from judging. And let's get back to building. Let's start with these people that look like us. And don't let nobody make you feel guilty because you want your black people to live a better life. God bless you.